Aye. You know, that was techie. This one maybe even a bit techier.
What? All right,
Who's your dream collab then? If you had a dream collab, that one person, and you said you can't say names, so who knows? You may even have like worked to them.
My
already,
dream collab. Bro, that's a big question to ask me, you know. Who would I dream of collabing with? Has to be someone like Kendrick Lamar or someone who's on a different scale. If it's someone I can reach out, I can probably reach to, if I could, it would be H, or Mist. Those two man there,
Yes.
I rate their shit like highly. Mist is like another brother from another mother. You don't even know that. But when I see him, we move like brothers. It's mad. Yeah. Those people in the youth, like, and obviously J Huss, Dave, that if I could ever collab with these type of people, yeah, that would be crazy still. And I feel like I've got what it takes to actually, you know what I mean, step up to the mark. If they did give me the shot, I would 100% know how to wrap up that track. Do you understand? I'm not one of those. I'm probably one of those guys where people underestimate, man, and think, oh, can Els even spit? Oh, and then do a Mazza. Man's like, Raj, you know what, you can. So I'm a shock to the system. If someone wants to see me pop out on their track and you're doing your thing, and it's an elevation, fam. I'm telling you now. It's not gonna be my man did the track. No, my man elevated the track, fam. You understand? Because that's all I'm doing is bringing in experience, knowledge, and I've got bars, lyrics all day, every day. Anyway, I would want to work with Chippy as well. There's another guy who's sick. You get me? I said people ain't even mentioned who's there, and they know that I know, and they know that what I say in it. So, yeah, man. But Mist. That's my pick still. That's another person I would. These tunes are mad, fam. He knows what he's doing, man. Them man there, when they talk, everyone's hearing the track. So, and even Tion Wayne, what the fuck, man? That's my doggy as well, man. What the hell? There's bare man. I'm gonna have me here saying everyone in a minute. Allow me. Allow me.
No, I hear it.
Allow me.
I hear it. So you mentioned at one point with regards to the entertainment took over. Like, I guess what was that like when you started getting more into the entertainment and that process of finding your feet in that?
To be honest, when I started, yeah, it weren't that I wanted to even come into this thing like as an entertainer. That weren't me. It kind of picked me. I was working at Footasylum before it all started, and then obviously I used to chill with Young Philly, and then we went to Wall of Comedy where I linked up with Javan, Wade, and Percy, and all the rest of them. And they saw talent in me, but Philly already knew that was there because obviously he's Roundman 24, so he would know. Oh, LV, your jokes. You get me? But he knows I know where the banter started from. Do you get me? And it's always been around us, man, in my ends where we all grew. Do you understand? Obviously, Philly, I met him when he was 17, so he came to the circle from when I saw him, and I brought him around my peoples, and then that's when we started to create this funny character, and he had funny parts and that, but it was mainly in the ends where it all generated from. If you come to my ends, better of us all sound the same. Better of us all have the same banter. Better of us talk like that. That's why I've always said in my slogan, lump it, slump it, my brothers. Lump, slump it is my strip. So everyone in that area knows what I'm talking about when I say that. So when that's said, when man mentioned lump it, slump it, that's my borough I'm talking about. I went all the comedy with Philly, met up with them guys, and then yeah, literally like I was literally doing a 9 to 5 in Footasylum. Funny as that, I was working there, just box door, whatever you want to call it. Man was just up and down, and then yeah, bro, I was doing group chat with him, sitting on a chair doing group chat, laughing, whatnot. It's a good program. We made a bare views. Then a guy called Ants from I'm Just Bait kept putting me up, taking a piss, but it was funny banter. It was cool. And then my phone just started doing a madness one day, but when you put it up, bam, and they started blowing off. And then next minute we had a show with Footasylum, me, him, and Chunks. And then I got signed to Footasylum. And then yeah, my whole life changed, bro. But before I even got signed, I took a risk by quitting my job and looking into my dreams in it, because that's one thing I've always told myself, like if I ever get to a certain age, I want to know that I actually that I done what I wanted to do and achieved the things I would try to achieve at the age I was at. So yeah, bro, I just said, you know what, I think now is the time, even though bear in mind I had a child before that at 21, so it was a big risk. I just felt like now was the time to do it when I was 30. And I just said, yeah, I'm gonna take the risk, and I did, and yeah, bro, just all paid off. Like I got signed by Footasylum, and then my career kind of picked up from there.
Sick. So, how was that? I guess that relationship with young Philly, I guess, is what. And then
Yeah. Because we were so tight, and the amount of stuff we used to do together. Like before the Instagram, it was snaps. We was all over Snap together. Like everything we did was together. Do you get me? So it was one of those things where whatever he was doing, I was doing anyway because I was there. So it's like, yeah, bro, like that kind of generated me to the screen because I weren't a guy who wanted to be in the camera. My thing was, move the camera out my face, man. Man, like, what you doing, man? Blah. And then we'll get into then we'll ramp and like everyone loved all of that connection we had. But it generated to group chat, and you get me. If it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't have been involved with this anyway because I weren't doing that. I was doing 9 to 5, going home to my daughter. Do you know what I mean? Being a dad, that was what my duty was. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me to take the risk of leaving work and having the risk to go and then become something else, obviously man has to give thanks, of course. But yeah, man, that's how it generated. That's how it all happened. If he didn't obviously hit them up and bring man up there, man wouldn't have been in that position to people to even know who I was or see me. Do you get me? I would have just been anonymous. But yeah, it picked me. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, fame picked me. I just had the talent to make people laugh, and do you know what I mean? And I'm only being myself. That's the maddest thing about it. I'm not putting it on. I'm just being myself. So if being myself got me here, then I'm gonna stick to being who I am, innit?
Still on the way to be, man.
Yeah,
still on the way to be.
Exactly.
And would you say, with the music and the comedy now as well, right? Have you created a bit of a process, a working process, like a creative process for both? Or is there like a crossover in any of those?
I wouldn't say there's a crossover because I work for me and what I'm doing. So like, yeah, I've got management and I've got agency and all things what help, man. But it really comes from what I want to do, like what my vibe is or what my journey is. So I know what I want to do. It's like say we got like a big bubble, yeah? And in that bubble, I've got my thoughts. And then you lot are there to now try and direct me and help me in my process of where I want to go. I know what I want to do. It's just I need the handles to try and direct me of where I should do. That's all. And that's why I need a team and all these other things to help, man. But yeah, definitely know where I'm going to go and what I'm trying to do in this game. And there's no crossovers at all. I'm now doing my music and I've still got my comedy there. Like, so it's balanced, and that's what it is. If you don't find a balance in what you're doing when you're trying to do it, that's where things can come crisscross, you get me, or whatever you want to call it, crossover.
Nah, do you know what? Nah, I appreciate that. What I wanted to actually ask was more like, you know, when you're creating though, when you're actually creating, when you go into the booth, or like, I guess if you're like writing a sketch or something like that, do you have like a process you go through to approach each of them, and in that process of like, I want to make a track or I want to make a sketch, do you ever find like there's similarities or?
No, it's definitely different. Like when I'm doing music, obviously it's more harder for me because that's now me thinking. That's now me using my brain and writing down lyrics. And when I do comedy, that's literally me. Like I don't think, bro. I do not think. Like now sitting here, there's no thinking process. It's just naturally how I am. So I'm answering everything you're saying to me as how I would be on a normal day to day. There's no, cut the cameras, that man's got to say, but I'm being myself. This is me, bro. So when it comes to sketches, yeah, there's a little thought processes in like, how am I going to pan this out? Or how am I going to do this or do that? But everything was said afterwards is off the top of the dome. There's no scripts. There's no, else thought have how to do this. And that's why I said that. Man said what I said because that's what was said at the time. I was feeling, I was thinking. And for some reason, that's got me so far in life. Just being me. And it's mad because a lot of people would think, them man, there's a structure to this thing, or there must be a way to. No, there ain't no way. It's like either you have it or you don't. You get me? And there's another way of obviously getting it is by being around man a lot, and it will rub off on you. You will start hearing people sound like man. Hear people saying things like man. Hear man pronouncing or putting on accents and it sounds like man because man's been around man long. That's why that's normal to happen. But my thing is it's just a natural settings, bro. Literally, I don't I don't have no thinking process in them situations. It's just all improv and just literally how I am. That's why now I have been looking into doing some stand-up comedy, because I thought, why not? If I've got that type of settings, let me see if I can actually structure that type of settings to a crowd. Say for instance, you got a whole bar, there's a scale bar thing, whatever now, and the top bit's there and the bottom's there, but you're wishing small, so you might end up going below than what you wanted because you was wishing there. But if I believe I can get up here and I drop here, I'm where I wanted to be anyway. Do you understand? So you've got to kind of always think above the barrier. Like, you've got to go above what you would have wanted. Do that. When you think like that, you end up where you would meant to be. You understand? So, yeah, man.
Sick. Would you say you've got, I guess, one big obstacle that you've had to face at this moment up to your journey right now?
Like, what would you mean by obstacle?
It could be anything.
Like a hurdle or something in my way? What?
Yeah.
Something what was holding
Something
me
you've
back?
had to overcome, yeah.
I think that's that. I think, do you know what my worst enemy or my worst thing could be for me? Is that I trust too much people, bro. I put my trust into like my friends, like people I don't know, like just thinking people give me the same trust back and the same love, and do you know what I mean? And I think that can happen to anyone. That could be with your own friends, family, work, anybody. Do you know what I mean? But personally, that's my big issue, is that I show too much trust in people. I will let people in to my world and be in and around my thoughts and my thinking and my process of how I move as a person. And sometimes that can come back to haunt you, because you let people into your world too much. Now they know too much. Now they want to take on do, or, you know what I mean? There's certain things people do in their certain ways. So I think that's one of my hurdles, or one of my, things where I'm like, right, Els, you need to start checking who you bring in before bringing them in, or check who's who before you make them steps. Because I'm always showing love too early, and sometimes that love ain't the same as what they want to, you know what I mean? And it's not like I'm trying to get back from people what I give them. It's just, I thought we was on the same page. As in, like, if my heart's clean, so should yours. That type of thing. But we're not all the same, are we? So it is what it is, you get me? But that's one thing I would say I'm learning the process on.
Sick. Have you ever gone to prison or been arrested?
Been arrested, yeah.
Of course I have.
Grew up in Lewisham, I have that. Well, I think everyone who says they grew up in Lewisham has been arrested for some bullshit. Like, when I got arrested, yeah, I got arrested for stupidness though. Like, my arrested was either just being on road, keeping up fuckery on road, running around, mashing up car, beating up someone, or having a madness, or something silly, yeah? But then as I got older, it started to become more of a thing of like, oh, man used to smoke a bit of this or that. Please stop you. Oh, all right, get there, you going down the station. Over stupidness. Man just wanted to buy a little smoke and done. You get me? Weren't no big thing, but like I said, as I grew up, I went into care, by the way, when I was 24. My mum got me an application for care work. She was a carer at the time, as managing a company, so she wanted me to do something what would take me off the streets, which it did. So I went into care, done care for 4 years, and yeah, stayed away from police, bro. I was clean as I haven't been in trouble since I was a teenager, bro. Like, I'd made sure that I was gonna do better in my life, especially when I had my daughter, at 21. I just said, yeah, now is the time to fix up. And even my mum said, yeah, you need to find yourself a job. So that's what I did, and yeah, man, left the street alone. So I didn't really get in trouble. Like, police, yeah, when you're young, oh, shut up. That's just a joke thing. You get me? You're getting caught up in stuff because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. You get me? But I've learnt those things, and I feel like it was a good process of knowing that at that age as well, because it's made me the person I am today. If I never did get arrested, I would never know what it's like to get arrested, or to even understand what police are like, or you understand that interaction. You need to learn sometimes the negative to understand the positive. You feel me? And I know it might sound confusing telling someone, what do you mean you got to do wrong to do right? It's a madness, but you understand in the future, or when you grow to that certain age, to be understanding what man's telling you. Because when you do things, like, it's like you learn from your mistakes in life. Everyone must have heard of that. So same as negative, you might do something what shouldn't have done, but you learn from it, and then you become someone who you should be. Like, it's like prison. When they go prison, Man's done a lot of bad things who's gone in there. Don't mean they're the same person when they leave. They can learn from it and achieve better when they come out, which I've seen. A lot of people go prison who I've known and know, and they come out and they're doing so much better with their life. So, yeah.
No, sick. I think you slightly covered it there, but what would you say was the turning point that I guess led you on this road that you're on now?
Yeah, when I had my daughter. When I had her, I started to realise that there's better things I could be doing with my life, and for her as a girl child, I need to fix up. You know what I mean? So that's what it was, and I'm glad that my mum and my sisters and my peoples them were there to support me in that, because man was one of them youths who, like, I was on road, but I weren't really on this family settings. Like, I always love to go out, have fun, stay out till mad hours. Won't even see the famo like that unless I'm stuck in the yard, nothing to do today. You get me? Or man them will come check me at the house or something. But it was never, as I was getting old as a teenager and I was growing to be, teenager out there, weren't really at home that much. So man, I have that connection like that. But I'm glad they were there when it was time for, now you're a man, you've got a child, you need to fix up. That's where they did come back and stepped into man's world and show man the ways, you get me? So big up my peoples, man.
So was there ever a point where you thought, this might actually be kicking off,
I think I was working in Footasylum one day and a bunch of kids came in. And obviously, me being me, I'm just one of them guys who I might miss it, what people are seeing. Like, oh, you're sick, you do it. I'm like, oh, thanks, bro. But it don't sit as that's who I am. I'm just looking at it as, I'm just a normal brother. But anyway, yeah, there was a day at work when I was working at Footasylum, bunch of kids kept coming in, and next minute groups of kids, then before you know it, schools would coming into, and I was just like, this energy I'm getting from just doing group chat and nothing really on TV, but it's a YouTube channel and everyone's into it. I felt like, you know what, I think I could take it to the next level. So that's when I took the gamble of quitting my job end of that year, and I just said, you know what, man's gonna put like everything I've got into this now. And yeah, it paid off, bro. Like 3 months later, I was ambassador for Footasylum. So the same shop I was working in generated into me now becoming an ambassador, and I'm all coming down collecting. Imagine that, I went into the workplace, I was working in Lucian Footasylum. So I've gone back to work because I said, can you send my stuff? Because they used to send free things to man. So I'm getting trainers, clothing, everything, name it, I can get it. I had like a little black card type of thing. So gone down to tell them, can you send it to Lucian? Bear in mind, all the people I used to work with, a few of them were still there, hanging around, whatever, still working. And a lot of people in there, not a lot, but a few, didn't really believe what I was saying. Because when I said to them, blood, I'm telling you now, man's not going to be here in the next rare, like next year, I'm gone. I'm doing my thing. I was gassing the whole thing. My energy, see when I manifest and I push it out and I really mean it, bro, I don't know what it is, but I get signal signs or something happens and something happens, bro. I don't know, bro. I must astral project the thing and it just pops up there and next minute I'm in. You get me? I don't know how, but brother, we've gone back to the shop anyway after I've been chatting gas in the workplace for how I was there for like what? I did a Christmas temp thing. That was only there for that time because I left care work because I just felt like I need to find something different to do. And so then when I went into doing retail and I did that, I just thought, it is what it is. Just make some peas, get by, try and put some money into music and start working on things that I can do for myself. And also, obviously, I was chilling with Phillies at the time. So it's just like he was doing that and I was doing my own thing, but just still in my own lane with what I wanted to do. Didn't really like the cameras that much, but eventually I got in front of it and that's when I started stopping doing music a little bit and started focusing more on entertainment. But yes, back to what I was saying anyway. I went to the shop, and them lot was just surprised to see me because obviously everyone heard about, bro, you're doing Footasylum now, innit? Bro, how did you turn this around? I was like, who you spoke to? Like, I want to know who I spoke to and that. I'm like, blood, like I said to you lot already, follow your dreams, fam. I've been saying this. I've been telling you. Like, I've been mentioning hella times that I focus on my dreams, bro. I wake up, dream. I sleep, dream. I go out, I'm still dreaming. Like, I'm still on what I said I was on. Because I'm still believing myself that I'm going to be what I'm on. And that's how I move. So, yeah, bro. Went back to the shop. They were just gassed. Everyone's happy at the same time. People didn't like me coming over. Oh, you're famous now. Yeah. Gassed. You get me? Everyone's gassed. Everyone's gassed up now. Like, the shop's gassed. They see me picking up bags after bags. They're the ones putting it in the boxes for me. Like, can I get those? I want 2 of them. 1 of those. Like, I will rigged up someone in there. I shouldn't be saying this. I will getting trainers for people who's my friend and they're like, yeah, grab it. You get it? Like, boom, put that on there. You get me? I was doing them things, bro. I was looking after man still who rated man and who had man's back in it. So, yeah, man, it's only right. But yeah, it was good, fam. I can't lie. Like, it's a good move I made. It was a risk. But I'd always say to everyone, life is about taking risks and gambles. Like, and what I mean by that is not in risk it by running in the bank and doing a madness or risk it by trying to rob someone and then, you get me? I'm not telling you them type of risks. But what I'm saying is a risk is in like, if it benefits you in the future or in the long run, you know, if I do this, it's going to do that and get me there. And it's beneficial to you and it's not harming anyone, then take the risk and gamble. Why not? Because you can see the outcome. You're not doing it in a malicious way. It's not, there's no anger behind that. There's no like, oh, I want to do this because I now want to be above that. And there's no none of that. You get me? It's just more of, it's a passion thing. Like, I want to do that because I feel like I deserve to do this and I want to go for it. You got that drive, that ambition. That's what I'm talking about by risk and gamble. It has to make sense.
So I was going to ask you what that feeling was like of like leaving your job. I feel like when people hear them things, they think, okay, people...
It's very scary, bro. It's a very scary and a very risky move. Yeah, but if you believe in yourself and you really feel like there's something else going on in your life for you, you just got to go for it, bro. Like, and I know it sounds easy me telling you it and then it being done, because it is definitely easy to be said than done. But the reality of everything is life is how you make it, really. It's like your energies and how you take on what comes at you. If you're gonna come out today and say you wake up in a bad mood, most of your day is gonna probably end up in a bad mood because your energies are running off of bad energy, like negative. If you come out you're positive, in a happy mood, you're feeling good, that energy coming to you is only gonna be a good energy. It's what you put out there in the universe, fam. Like that, I've had to deep it, blood. Like, see me, I'm coming like one of them man there now. Or some scientist or some, like, what is he read books or something or something? You get me? Like, you're looking at man like, what is this guy on? What's in the raga juice, reggae, whatever you want to call it, yeah? And it's a madness, blood. But it's real talk. Man's just telling you a lot what I did, innit? And I'm telling you the truth of what I done and how I done it. And whether you want to believe me or not and think I'm gassing you, that's down to you. But man's just being dead serious, bro. I believe myself, and that's one thing I would always tell everyone is to believe in yourself and follow your dreams and dream big, because you can change your life. You don't have to be stuck in the system. You don't have to follow the program, which go to work, come home, stay at home, pay your rent, do your bill. It don't have to be the same every day. You can change it. You can decide, do you know what? I'm going to do this today because I want to become that, and I want to do this because I want to better myself in that. Do you know what I mean? You can take the risk in bettering yourself. Taking the risk is about bettering yourself, though. I think some people take the risk and they don't better themselves. They think they did, but in the long run, you're in prison. Or in the long run, you've now got a madness. You've got man coming after you. And you get me? You're watching your back every minute. That's dead. That's not some people don't know how to take in what man are saying, innit? But see me, I feel like the way I've taken it in is in a spiritual way, and I manifest things. And that's the best thing I feel like I can give to you, Stott, is to believe in yourself and dream big and always manifest. Make sure, even if you don't know what it means, go check it out. Manifest, yeah. And they did mention there was a book called The Secrets. I watched it on the YouTube, and I watched it I had the little cassette thing for it as well back in the day, but it never made sense to me. But then now, as time's gone on, I'm applying that into my life. So that is one thing I would say you lot should go and look up, is Secrets. It's a deep thing still. It's like a little round key on it and it's a yellow. Like, when you look at the book, you'll know straight away what the hell it is. It just looks mad. But yeah, that there made man open up my mind to a lot of things, and it's got me to where I am today as well, because now I understand it. So reading is another thing you lot should do if you want to learn certain things in life, yeah? All right, but like I said, take what you want to take from it. If you don't believe what I'm saying, then you're just one of the other people who don't want to believe it. But the ones who do, before you know it, before you know it, you'll be on the road to where you want to go. I can guarantee you that.
It's a great message as well, man.